Up next is Ezra Fireston, CEO of Zipify Apps and Boom by Cindy Joseph, and founder of Smart Marketer. In this session, you're going to find out how to create a product page that generates over $100 million in sales. Ezra will walk you through the exact method to hitting a 20% conversion rate from stone cold traffic. You're going to walk away knowing how to get more visitors to your site on your product pages and how to grow your email list with 100% more signups. Welcome to the stage, Ezra.
Hey, Ezra Fireston here with you, and I'm super excited to get really technical and really tactical in this presentation. I usually come and I'll talk about high level, like how to grow your e-commerce business. In this presentation, I'm going deep on e-commerce product pages. This is what I learned about product pages from $123 million in sales in the last 5.5 years. My name's Ezra. For those of you that don't know me, thanks so much for being here. I want to say I really appreciate your time, and when you choose to spend some time with me, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I deliver value. I own and operate one of the world's largest Shopify stores. For those that don't know me, I've been an e-commerce merchant since 2005. In the last 5.5 years, this one brand of mine has done over $123 million in revenue, and I also build teams. So I've been like, solopreneur all the way to now having 130 employees. I have an education company where I teach people e-commerce, and I even have a Shopify apps business, which are separate from that 123 million. So that 123 million, all e-commerce. And this is what I learned. I spent about 39 million to generate that on ads, and I'm going to focus on the product page because my viewpoint is that if you screw up the product page isn't done right, you got no shot at scaling. It's like the most important page in your entire technology stack and your entire website. Now, there are some big dominoes that you have to knock over in order to scale before you get to the product page. And the first one is product. You have to do product well. You have to launch products in a good way. I like to build up some anticipation and get people on a list and then roll them out with a launch site. And if you already have one product, there's some hacks to getting new products out. You can reformulate products you already have. You can, upgrade the componentry of the products you already have. You can offer new sizes. You can, let people know that your products are back in stock. You can create bundles and kits of products that you have together. But if your product is not done well, then the whole idea of marketing is ruined because the best promise wins in the marketplace, not the best product. You have to make the best promise. And that's what the product page is about. It's about making the best promise. But if the product does not live up to the promise that you made, you'll never get repeat business. You'll never be able to scale. So you have to get product. I'm giving you the dominoes that lead to the product page first. So I want you to know about these dominoes so you can try to knock them over. And the one big domino that I'm going to help you knock over in this presentation is the product page. So that's product, has to be done well. Then there's top-line video advertising. For me, I look at my brand in 3 ways: awareness, retargeting, and loyalty. And when it comes to marketing, getting new people out in front of, getting my brand out in front of new people who don't know about me yet, re-engaging with people who've seen my ads or visited my website and not bought, and then upselling and cross-selling people who did already buy from me. I was one of the first people to talk about this style of advertising many, many years ago before it was prevalent in the industry. And if awareness doesn't work, if top-line video advertising, get new people into your funnel doesn't work, you've got no point in even optimizing your product page. So this has to work if you want to scale as well. And the way that we focus on this is through our ambassador program. Of course, we've got a lot of things we do, and I did a presentation at Ad World, which is also a conference run by the same organizers, where I talked specifically about this domino and everything we do to make sure this domino is knocked over. But if you're going to pick one thing, it's top-line video ads using user-generated content. So in our case, we incentivize people to give us video reviews by offering them free product and other things. They review our products on video, and then we use that user-generated content everywhere in our funnel. And in addition to that, we also run email lead generation at the top of the funnel. We do this through giveaways. I'm just showing you this funnel. Again, I'm not breaking these down, but this is a funnel that we run. So 2 things. Top-line video ads via user-generated content, incentivizing people to give you video reviews of your product and then running those. And then second thing, using gated content, either a product giveaway or a piece of content. Hey, get our 10-minute makeup guide. They enter their email address, then they get put on an automation list, and they get access to the guide itself, which pre-sells the products. And these work extremely well. You can see we're generating thousands and thousands of leads here, 68,000 in the last 10 months or whatever that is, for $3 a pop. So top line awareness. First is product has to be good. Second is top line awareness has to be optimized. And then comes the product page, which is what we're going to focus on in this particular presentation. And then after the product page comes one other domino that has to work, which is the smart social system, which is engaging people with content that's relevant to their life experience. So you've got a group of people who are sharing a collective experience. People who have online businesses who want them to do better. That's you, right? Women over 50 who are experiencing the aging process and everybody telling them that that's wrong. That's my brand. So you got this group of people. They're having a particular set of experiences, and your brand is talking to them about that experiences and then selling them products that solve problems that are related to that experience. And the way that after you have a good product, you get someone's attention and get them to know about your product, you get them to your product page where they're ultimately going to make a decision to buy, yes or no. And that's what I'm going to tell you about how to do well in a second. Then you have to begin putting out content, running social contests, doing email lead generation, creating content that's relevant to the experience of that group of people and putting it out in front of them through amplification, filtering out the people who are consuming it, and then trying to upsell and cross-sell them. You can see here, of the $6 million that I made via email marketing, content marketing last year, only $3 million of it was due to sales. The rest of it was from ambassador posts, user-generated content, sustainability, weekly, monthly digests. So you got to start engaging your audience with content. That's sort of the fourth domino that you have to knock down. Okay, now, just wanted to give you a high level of the other dominoes that are very important. This particular presentation is about the product page dominoes. Let's dive into that. There are only three main types of product offer pages. You've got your traditional, which is sort of short form, not a lot going on, everything stuck up above the fold. And the typical use cases there are like products where it's kind of show heavy, there's a strong image focus, maybe you got a strong pre-sale before seeing the product page. There's just not much to say about it other than like, this is what it is, or brands that are really repeat focused, a lot of times low ticket items. That tends to be the use cases for the traditional product offer pages, the kind that existed way back in 2005, where everything was above the fold, before people scrolled, before mobile devices. Then you've got the long form product offer page that Apple really sort of popularized this. Long form, left-right content, a lot of sales copy. Typical use cases here, if you got a direct response marketer in charge who likes to write long form copy, or a good copywriter on the team, lifestyle story-based products, demoable products, education required before purchase, so generally high ticket items tend to be more of the long form. And then you've got the mini site. And the mini site is where you have multiple pages that all have call to actions to a buy box that are adhered together by a sticky header or a sticky footer. So you've got a sticky footer in this case where all of the pages, you can see, reviews, ingredients, FAQs, all the sections of what would be a product page are their own little bite-sized chunks, and each of these little bite-sized chunks has a call to action on it in the header and footer and on the site over to the buy box. And in this case, this product's sold out, but that's a mini site, and those work really well. Generally, single item brands use product mini sites, although I've been using them for some of my products for a little bit higher ticket items, like in my vertical, which would be like a $70 or $80 item. So which one is better? Which of these is the best? The answer is that it doesn't matter as long as the conversion assets are the same. So let's talk about the structure of your product page. So you've got your header, your carousel, your buy box, and your stacked conversion support content. So you got your header here, you got your carousel here, you've got your buy box here, and then you've got your stacked conversion support content, and then of course the footer of your site. The goal of the header is to provide access to any non-product content, to not get in the way of the sale, to be easy to use, to support the call to action. So ideally there's a call to action in the header, and to give access to the shopping cart, and ideally reaffirm the brand identity. The goal of the carousel is to show off the product, to demonstrate the ownership benefit of the product, to load fast with optimized images, to have at least 8 looks, to build desire for the product, and to showcase any videos or GIFs that you might have for the product. The goal of the buy box is simply to simplify the sales pitch, to upsell and cross-sell. So ideally you've got an upsell and cross-sell that you can leverage inside the buy box. We'll talk about that. Overcome any final objections and get that add to cart click. That's what you're doing with the buy box. And then your stacked conversion support content is designed to sell, to demonstrate credibility, to speak to the different types of consumers who might be interested, overcome any objections, and build desire for the product. To make all of this work, it comes down to just one set of deliverables, and that's conversion assets. I've got this theory, the conversion asset concert theory. So I think that your product page is simply a collection of conversion assets that work in concert with one another to support you in your goal, which is a conversion, and your prospect in their goal, which is a solution to their problem. What is a conversion asset? It's just a piece of media, an image, a text, a video that supports a prospect in making a buying decision. So images, sales videos, testimonials, unique selling propositions, sales copy, etc. And I've got a list of all the must-have conversion assets that I think you need to have on your product offer page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through building out a winning desktop and mobile product offer page here in this presentation. We're going to go step by step. So, and we'll go through all of these as the different steps. We'll talk through them and how you do them and why they make sense. And by the way, I am 16 years. I started testing e-commerce product offer pages in 2005. So this is everything I've learned about e-commerce product offer pages in the last 16 years. You can just swipe and deploy this, copy it. And even if you only use half of it, it's going to be better than if you didn't use any. So let's build a product offer page. Step one, decide on your layout. You're going to do traditional, long form, or mini site. There's a new version of mini site that I'll show you at the end, which is kind of fun. So answer the question, do you have a lot to say about the product? If the answer is no, then you're going to do a traditional product offer page like Zappos with their shoes. There's just not a lot to say. So they do a very traditional product offer page. Tabbed product content, focus on the image carousel, not a lot of sales copy. They're going to go traditional. If there is a lot to say about your product, you're going to go long form or mini site. So once you've chosen that, the next step is optimize your header. Navigation matters. Oftentimes on my product pages, I've got nothing but a return to store link in my header. I've got a different header for my product pages than I do the rest of the pages on my site. I don't want to give you any other navigation. Shopping cart or go back to look at the other products. Of course, you can go to the footer and get to other parts of my site, but your navigation matters. So let's talk about your header and some style tips. Number one, keep it slender. You don't want the header on desktop to take up more than 15 to 20% of the entire real estate. And on mobile, you don't want the header to take up more than 10% of the real estate, ideally. You want to give access to the shopping cart in the header. Notice that we will have shopping cart icons on our sites in the header because we want people to be able to tap that. I like to include my brand tagline in my header on desktop to reaffirm my brand's identity. I think that's really important, and I talk a lot about that in my social media marketing classes, but I always put my tagline also at the top of my header to remind people what I stand for. And I'll always have a call to action in the header to opt in or to purchase. Also in the hamburger menu on mobile, I'll have that same call to action to opt in or to purchase. And I get about 30% more opt-ins than before I had this. So CTA in my header to join my email list, which is my number one thing that I want you to do. I'm always going to have my brand logo in my header as well. You'll notice they've got it here on their site because people know that when you click that brand logo, it takes you back to the homepage. So people are aware that they can tap that to get back to the homepage. So I always put the brand logo in there as well. And I've got really simple, easy to read text navigation in my hamburger menu. Big, high, giant font. Now let's talk through some mobile specific header improvements because I had a huge increase in my conversion rate just by optimizing the header of my site, of my product page. It's the only thing I did. And of course that rolls out to my entire site. So you see, I used to have my logo, my phone number, and then a hamburger menu and a shopping cart in my header. And when I took this screenshot, this was actually a couple years ago when I ran this test, I was doing about, let's say 52% of my traffic was from mobile at that time and 24% was from tablet. And the mobile traffic was converting at 1%. My desktop traffic was converting at 4%. My tablet was around 2%. I knew I had to fix this issue of mobile only, getting me 87 cents a visitor versus $3.15 a visitor on desktop. And now my mobile traffic's even more than this. So what I did was I made my header more functional by adding labeled buttons, a search option, and important bookmark pages. So I started out with this. Now, keep in mind, this is still breaking the rule of more than 10% of the screen real estate taken up from mobile. But there's some important things here. I've since gotten rid of the logo on mobile and gotten rid of the sublinks on mobile. But even just doing this, I did that. So I went from what you see on the left over to here to what you see on the right, which the icons at the top are the most important part of that. And then I added something that said, when you scrolled down, I added a quick way for you to get back up to the top. So as you scrolled down, I added a button that you could tap that if you weren't interested in what was on that page, it would take you right back up to the top of the page where all the action is, right? The header. So as you scroll down, that little button appears for you. And then I also added the main bar to appear on scroll intent. So as an example, as soon as you start to scroll up, if you're on mobile and you begin to scroll up, i.e. you're no longer interested in what is on the product page, I drop the header down for you. I don't make you scroll all the way to the top. I give you access to that header. So I'll show you what that actually looks like. So, and by the way, this is what my navigation menu looked like. Super hard to read, pink, white text, and I made that much cleaner, much simpler, bigger text on white. So I displayed the entire menu, gave the ability to hide the menu, made it big, easy to read font, gave a clear white background. From cold traffic, right? I filtered out all warm traffic. So this is only cold traffic who didn't know about me. 20% conversion rate increase, and 3% average order value increase. So to have a 20% conversion rate increase from cold traffic is insane. Significantly more revenue and profit with just those simple modifications to my header. So you can see this is what it looked like. Of course, I've since gotten rid of the logo and the phone number and all that. Now you can tap that little button that pops up for you. It'll take you right back to the top. If you scroll down and you start to scroll up, boom, I drop the menu down for you. And then, of course, I've got my nice, super easy to read hamburger menu that's available for you. And all this stuff is available if you're on Shopify inside of my Zipify Pages landing page builder. So you can use my landing page builder. You can literally copy everything I'm doing in my header and on my product pages. The other thing to think about is a sticky header. And I use sticky headers on my pre-sale pages, and I also use them on my mini sites, and I also use them on my long-form sales pages and my social promotions and holiday sales and, landing pages when I'm running sale events. Sticky header is where the header actually stays with you as you scroll on desktop. Notice I've got 2 CTAs. This is a pre-sale article, so one to check out the products and one to join the club. These sticky headers are very effective, and we're going to talk about sticky calls to action to add a product to cart on the product page in a second. Okay, so that's your layout and your header. Now let's talk about optimizing your buy box. First thing you got to do is pick a featured testimonial. So most people do this. They have the name of their product as the first thing in their buy box. We replace that with social proof. We put social proof, a customer testimonial, as the first thing in the buy box. And average revenue per user increased by $1.25, and conversion rate increased by 5%. Outperforming the control the entire test. And we tested this over and over and over. And every time it wins, we open the buy box with a testimonial. Some testimonial tips, you want to pick one that enthusiastically endorses the product. You want to keep it really short. You want to make sure that the person who gave the testimonial is your most frequent buying demo. And then once you've picked out your testimonial, you got to pick out your pictures for your carousel. At least 6, ideally 8 to 10. Look at this. When you look on a mobile or a desktop product page, look at what happens on the heat map. All of the activities in the carousel. All of it. And that's because 90% of the information transmitted to your brain is visual. 93% of consumers consider images essential in making product decisions. Your images represent your product's perceived value and quality. And there's only 2 types of images. There's pure product on a color, and then there's your product in context, used in its intended environment, lifestyle. You need both. You need both of them, in context and lifestyle, and a pure product on white in a variety of angles. Some tips for your carousel. Quality matters, so you have to have really good product photography. You want to show the product in multiple forms, multiple angles. You want to show the product in use in its intended environment. You want to show what the product is made of if you possibly can, right? These are some folks I used to buy from. They went out of business, not because they did a bad product page, but because they made some bad business decisions, but they show what their products are made of. You want to make sure those images load really, really quickly. Obviously, for mobile, the faster the product page loads, the better. What I do inside my Zipify Pages app for you is when you upload an image, I render it into a bunch of different sizes, and then I serve up the version of the image that's relevant for the particular device. Smaller images for mobile, bigger images for desktop, etc. So it loads lightning fast. Your next step is to create a short form demonstration video of the product in use to put inside your carousel. Videos help a lot. And inside your carousel, that's not where your sales video goes. It's not where your social proof video goes. Those are going to go on the product page. And your carousel is just a simple demonstration. Could be a GIF, could be a video, but just demonstrating the product in use, because your product carousel is about showing off how the product works and demonstrating how to use it. And we find that better than long form sales videos and better than social proof videos, demonstration videos inside the product carousel perform the best. So choose a video for your carousel. Step 6 is our buy box content. This is arguably the most important part of the entire product page, aside from your carousel images and your video in your carousel, is the buy box content. Now, a lot of people don't have any buy box copy. None. They're just like, I got nothing to say about this product. This is what it was, this is what it's called. This is where it's made. And this is how much it cost. Well, we have been testing a formula for our buy box. And keep in mind, when someone gets to the product page, the whole goal is to get them to click the add to cart button, to get them over the hump to say, yes, I want to put this in my cart. That's it. It's not to actually get them to buy. The job of your shopping cart and checkout experience is to get them to buy. The job of the product page is to convince them that they want the thing, not to finish the checkout, just to get them to click that button. And, the buy box is the recap of the sales pitch. And so we've figured out a formula. We've tested a whole bunch of stuff. This is our best formula. We open with a testimonial. We have one sentence on the ownership benefit of the product. So what is the benefit of owning this product? And then we have a 1 to 2 sentence overview of what the product actually is. So you can see here, I get endless compliments on my skin. That's our testimonial. This one moisturizer, which is, by the way, our most popular one, can be used over your entire body, i.e. you don't need any other moisturizers. You just need this. That's the sales pitch. That's the ownership benefit. Now, the benefit of owning this is it works for your whole body. You don't need anything else. And then there's a 1 to 2 sentence description of what this thing actually is. Same thing here, and what you got to answer in the first one, the first sort of one sentence is, as a result of owning this product, you as a consumer will get, have, obtain, become, feel, be perceived as, look like. What will be the benefit of owning this thing? And then you got to answer, what is the product? Answer those 2 questions above the CTA in your buy box, and you will get more people clicking that CTA. Next step, pick the call to action text, right? Add to cart, add to bag. Most common ones are buy now. If you're going direct to checkout, add to cart, checkout now, add to bag. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. Pick add to bag or add to cart if you're going to cart, buy now or checkout now if you're going to checkout. Step 8, we're going to pick our order bump inside our buy box. The product page is not just to get the add to cart for the one product. It's ideally to get the add to cart for that product, or that product and another product, or that product version that is an upsell, as we're about to go through. So what an order bump is a pre-purchase order bump that increases the value of the cart. So order bumps are an on-page upsell or cross-sell that's used to maximize that average order value. Here you can see with my first ever e-commerce business, I think I launched this officially in 2007, our pre-purchase order bump was a wig cap. We had 60% of people taking this wig cap, cost us 25 to 50 cents, sold it for $4. So we made a bunch of extra money using a drop down showing an image of the cross-sell right above the add to cart button. You can use pricing tiers. Here on my Boom Silk on the right-hand side, I am defaulting to the 8 ounce, which is the most expensive variant. So, if you choose a bigger tier, I make more money. That's a pre-purchase order bump. Here on my my previous brand, I was offering you 3. So if you get 3, you get a bigger discount. You get 2, you get a smaller discount. You get 1, you get the smallest discount. So I was using tiers to increase that average order value. You can, of course, just use different sizes, right? Like Purple Mattress is doing. You can upsell to a bundle, right? You can have a clickable link that upsells to a bundle that actually goes to the different bundle product page. Or you can do Amazon style, where you've got a whole section where you can add all, multiple products to the cart at the same time. These folks are using that clickable link that I'm doing. Same thing, click over to a different product page that includes the product that they're on, but you're able to get a discount. You can cross-sell an additional item. You can upsell or cross-sell to subscription, usually better for the second order, not usually better for the first order. You can, instead of when they add the product to the cart, you can drop them on a sandwich page where they can upsell and cross-sell to a different item at a discount. This is much better for sale events. It's not really great for evergreen product pages. This is the Amazon style again here, where they can add, there's a second add to cart button where they can get multiple items. But the idea is between 5 and 20% of people for most brands are going to say yes to that cross-sell on your product offer page. So if you don't have it, you're doing yourself a disservice. You must include a cross-sell on your product offer page if you want your average order value to be as high as you possibly can be. This isn't so much related to conversion rate, which is what all the rest of this is related to, but it's related to average order value, which is very important. All right, let's get some tips for your buy box, some mobile and desktop tips. We just talked about the carousel and the buy box. Now we're going to go some high-level tips for those. So keep that call to action above the fold on desktop. Make sure that your quantity selector and your variant selector are easy to engage with. I like image variants, right? Little buttons they can tap. Quantity selector where they can click a plus up and down. Those are just easier to engage with. Your conversion rate will go up versus like drop downs for everything. Here you can see is a image variant selector and a quantity selector with an up and down arrow. So very simple to use on mobile. You want full width buttons on mobile, buttons that span the entire width of the device on mobile. You want unique selling propositions in image format under the add to cart button. So here on the top option, you can see I'm showing images, best price, hassle-free returns, fast shipping, satisfaction guaranteed. I'm reminding people that it's safe to shop with me. Here on my Boom website, you can see I've got 100% risk-free money-back guarantee. I'm reminding people that it's safe to click that button, and your add to cart rate will go up when you add these USPs under that CTA. Use the isolation effect on your CTAs. So the isolation effect is simply where you've got a color that contrasts from the rest of the page. So the only time that color should show up is on your CTA. So the CTA really stands out. So that's the high level of how to optimize your buy box and your carousel. Step number 9, and this is where our long-form stacked conversion support content comes in. We need to write the main sales copy and product description of the that we're going to use on our product page. And this is the copy that explains what a product is and why it's worth purchasing. And the goal is to explain the features and benefits of the product so that the person is compelled to buy and demonstrate the ownership benefit of the product. And you got to focus on your ideal buyer. You want to write this as if you're talking to someone. And these are the questions that you need to answer. Who is it for? What are the basic product details? Where would someone use this product? When would someone use this product? Why is it useful or better than other products? How does this product actually work? Are there any industry lingo or specific words that your buyers use, right? Like, I sell to women who have gone through menopause. There's a specific lingo for that. If you're selling to rock climbers, there's a specific lingo that you can use that only that group of people knows. What is the product? How do you use it? What are the benefits of it? How is it made? Are there any key ingredients or materials? Are there any science proof or uniqueness that you can use? You got to focus on features and benefits. So features of the product and benefits of owning the product. And the other thing I do is I tell mini stories. Who made the product? What inspired the creation of the product? How was the product tested? What obstacles were overcome in the development of the product? Any little stories that explain why it was created or demonstrate any of the value of the product. And you also want to use sensory descriptors. How did it smell? What does it sound like? How does it feel? How does it taste? You want to evoke an emotional and sensory experience. You can also use Ogilvy's 20 influential words, right? So for more of hypiness. A lot of people use these, to hype up their products. And you can include humor wherever possible. And most importantly, scannability is everything. Headlines and bullets, because people scan and then they go back up and read. And so my formula that I use on my long form sales pages, and I'll show you a bunch of my other formulas. I'm actually going to break down some of my product pages in a moment, but my formula that I use in my long form sales pages is 2 headlines, 6 bullets, 1 story. The first headline and bullets is focused on the ownership benefit. So it's an ownership benefit statement headline and 3 bullets, or in this case 3 sentences of ownership benefit focus. The second headline is focused on the features of the product. So it's a second headline and 3 bullets or a few sentences. And then there's a mini story about why they should buy it. Why should you buy this? What is the main benefit? What's it going to do for you? So my long form sales page sort of structure answer those questions in the form of 2 headlines, 6 bullets, and a mini story. And that structure works really, really well if you're going to go the long form sales page route. Next thing you got to do is decide on your unique selling propositions and create images to support them. So you can see here, these folks have figured out the USP under the add to cart button. I've been preaching this and teaching this since 2013 because that's when we first tested this. These folks are using USPs in image format, free shipping on all orders. We donate to charities. We've got 1 million Instagram followers. Your USPs can be unique to your brand. We're doing made in the USA here. Purple's going 1-year warranty. We're doing satisfaction guaranteed. You can see here we've got our USPs in image format on our long form sales page, cruelty free. These folks have, quick delivery as one of their USPs. These folks have buy now, pay later as one of their USPs, or that will replace it for life. So you got to have unique selling propositions, and you got to have them in image format, and they must be on the page. You also need guarantees. I'm a big fan of the standard money back guarantee. Common guarantees are money back, satisfaction, lifetime warranty, happiness, buyback, lowest price. These guys are using a premium quality guarantee. These guys have one that they're saying, hey, it's built for the long haul. So basically, it's a well-made guarantee. These guys have a guarantee that's specific to their product. It's guaranteed smooth rides. You can also make up your guarantees as long as they're relevant to your product, and you can guarantee that. Social proof images, right? Social proof images are really, really helpful. And the thing about social proof is it doesn't have to be media outlets, right? What a social proof is a quote, a source, and a logo, ideally. That's the ideal structure of social proof. And the interesting thing about the source, right, is the source doesn't have to be the source can be your customers. The source can be industry experts. The source can be celebrities. The source can be a crowd of people. The source can be friends. The source can be certifications you might have. The source might be where you've been published, magazines, blogs, TV, but you can get social proof without you hiring a traditional PR agent. Step 13 is to implement a traditional reviews widget. Yotpo, Looks, Stamped. I'm a big fan of Stamped, but there's a bunch of them if you're using Shopify. Step 14, product FAQ. And the thing about an FAQ is they get engaged with very heavily on the page. I'll show you some heat maps in a second. But what are all the objections that you might get? That's what you want to put in the FAQ is what questions are people asking your customer support? You put those in your FAQ. What's your refund policy? How long does it take to ship? More is more with the FAQ. You actually want to add a lot here of anything you can think of that someone might have a question about the product. You can see Purple Mattress. They're doing this. We do this on every one of our product pages. This is one of the tabs in our mini site when we have mini sites is always an FAQ. On long form sales pages, we always have an FAQ. They work super well. They add a lot to the conversion rate. They get consumed. And maybe it's only 10% of people who consume that, but those are the people who are going to buy. Then there's you might also like products, items that, are all the way down the bottom of the page. So in case somebody else if someone's not interested in the product that they're on, you've got maybe a bundle down below or items from a bundle. You've got maybe items from the same collection. You've got upsell or cross-sell items. You've got items that are frequently bought together. You've got a way to keep, offering them stuff once they get down to the very bottom of that product page. Some people stick them here right under the add to cart. I don't think that's a good idea. I think stick them all the way down the bottom of the page. So once someone scrolls down, if they're not going to click that final add to cart button at the bottom of the page, they can check out another product. Then there's your lightbox pop-up and exit intent. So when someone lands on your product page, some people want to incentivize with a coupon. Some people want to incentivize with free shipping. Some people want to incentivize with a free gift. Some people want to incentivize with an opt-in download. Some people on exit intent say, hey, get 10% off. Don't leave. You can get 10% off right now. And they say, yes, I want it. They enter their email address. They get that 10% coupon. That's what we're doing on exit intent. When you try to leave, we say, hey, don't leave. We're going to offer you 10% off. We're going to incentivize you to make a purchase. And this works extremely, extremely well. And step 17, have live chat on your page so people can chat with you and have a greeting. So either at 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, or 60 seconds after being on the page, fly out a greeting that says, hey, thanks for being here. Would you like to chat with us? We use that and it works super well for us. And we do it after 15 seconds. The tools that we use, every one of our pages that you've just seen, I'm about to show you some live examples, is built in Zipify Pages. Obviously, that's a tool that I made. And I made it because I needed a easy way to deploy long-form sales pages, landing pages, mini sites, contest pages, etc. So everything that you've seen that I have is built in Zipify. We use Stamped for reviews. We use Privy for, Lightbox pop-ups on the site, exit intent, etc. We use one-click upsell for post-purchase upsells, which I didn't show you, but we use that. And then we're also using Olark for live chat. And that's the tech stack that we're using to build these. Now, as a reminder, I just went through a lot of stuff, but I want to cover a few more things before we end. Don't forget about these winning buy box elements. If you're going to take just a few things, take the buy box, the carousel, the social proof, the cross sell in the buy box, the why buy from us recap, the actionable CTA, and the guarantee. Don't forget my buy box formula, open with a testimonial, 1 sentence ownership benefit, 1 to 2 sentence overview of the product. And that just shows that off there. Don't forget that full width button on mobile, and don't forget those USPs under the add to cart button. Now, obviously, and don't forget your video in the carousel, and don't forget your video in the carousel, and don't forget your stacked conversion support content. Okay, quickly, before we end, I got a few more things I want to cover with you. The 2-step dandy. I want to show you this live. So this is our new best converting product offer page. It's sort of like a mini site, except for it's only 2 pages. The first page is a long form sales video with long form copy and with a bunch of calls to action that then lead over to a page that's 2 buy boxes and a whole bunch of social proof and an FAQ. So if you have a product that has a lot to say about it, then you can do this, right? Which is what we've been doing for all of our most recent product launches. Have been 2-step dandy. We've got literally a 2-step product page. I'm going to show you this live on my site, and I'll break through the sections for you. But you can see our last 4 product launches have all been this 2-step dandy. So, and you can see, same deal. Carousel gets engaged with, cross-sell gets engaged with on the actual buy box page. But most importantly, people are making it through, right? You get 66% of people who visit that home page of the product detail page to show that commitment and consistency and move over to the actual product detail page, and you end up with a very, very high conversion rate. So let me take you over to the site and break down the elements of the 2-step dandy. All right, so here we are on the product offer page for a product I just launched, my mascara. You notice I got the header that I told you about, all those elements, but notice now there's another header, and that header has links that anchor you to different sections of the page, right? So as you scroll down, you've got links that are anchoring you to different sections of the page. Of course, you've got your tap to scroll back up, but you open with a sales video. This is a 1-minute, pretty highly produced in our case, but it doesn't need to be super highly produced, sales video with a voiceover behind it, talking about the value of the product, talking about why it's good, how to use it, what to do with it. There's call to actions with perceived actionability interspersed. There's long form sales copy. There's the ingredients that are in the product. There's the long form left-right content on why you should use it, which of course stacks for mobile and loads really quickly. And there's some tips on how to use it. And then there's a final CTA. And that CTA and all those CTAs are going to bring you over to what's called a double buy box social proof sales page, where I've got my carousel, like I told you, goes really fast. I got my Zoom. I've got my video in the carousel. I'm opening with that testimonial. I've got my buy box formula. I got my money back guarantee, my security symbols, and my then I've just got social proof, right? What are women saying? Social proof. And then I've got long form social proof videos. Then I've transcribed the videos, lots of videos of customers, and then a little bit of sales content on the value of the product. So a little mini story, how it was made, how you can recycle it, stuff like that. Second buy box, and then FAQ with the first question pre-open for them. In Zipify pages, you can set this up where the first question is open. But look at how many FAQs I have here, right? And these are all the questions that come in to my customer support. So just tons of questions about this product. And then, of course, finally, my traditional reviews widget. So that's my 2-step dandy, my 2-step product offer page. You can see it also in action over here on, let's say, Boom Gloss rather. And with Boom Gloss, you'll notice I'm using the sticky header. So same thing, sales video. In my case, I went highly produced, but you don't have to go super highly produced. I have a bunch of these where it's just literally images and a script. So it's a voiceover and images. In this case, I'm using video, but you don't have to use video. You'll notice that these anchorable links to different sections of the page, the story of the product, the ingredients, how to use it, they're all anchorable. With that sticky header there. And then, of course, the call to action is going to take you over to the social proof double buy box sales page. This one is sold out, but it's that same structure as before. In this case is less social proof, but just more focusing on those buy boxes and that sales page, because I haven't had it long enough to develop a bunch of UGC assets, user-generated content assets, and now I'm sold out of it. But the 2-step dandy is a very effective type of sales page, sort of a pared down mini site, and it works really, really well. Now, before we end, I want to show you a couple split tests that just came in. The first is 4 items across on desktop beats 2 or 3 for us. Hover swap of images. So when you scroll over an image on desktop on your collection page, having it hover and change the perceived actionability that you can see a second look, having the star rating in that in the column on desktop. All these have won the split test, and in particular, 2 columns on mobile. So you go to mobile and look at this. I've got not 1 column of products, but I've got 2 products in each column. That works better than having a carousel on mobile, and it works better than a single item in a row on mobile. So I get about an extra $1 per visitor by having 2 columns instead of 1 on my mobile collection page. And finally, a few quick split tests. Split tests we ran back in 2020. Give the buttons a shadow. Give them a 3P sort of clickable perspective, and hopefully get more people to click through on all of our buttons. You can see the original on the left, no shadow. The variant on the right, which was the winner by a lot, has a drop shadow. So drop shadow on buttons does increase the click-through rate. Sticky add to cart on mobile. This has been really big. So basically, as someone scrolls, you have an add to cart that's stuck to the bottom. We tested the top versus the bottom one. And basically, this increased our order rate by 9%. So we tested the original, no sticky add to cart. We tested a variant in the header and a variant in the footer. And the variant in the footer performed the best. And basically, we got a 10% lift in add to cart and a 9% lift in order conversion rate. So those are some things that you can implement on your product page. The thing to remember about e-commerce is that you get out what you put in. If you're not constantly testing, constantly iterating, not developing conversion assets and using them to your benefit on your product offer page, you're not going to convert. You have to keep investing. And that's how you get out. You put into the brand. You need a truly great product. I said this at the beginning, and I'm saying it at the end, because no amount of conversion strategies that I can give you, no amount of tips and tricks and tactics and split tests are going to help you if your product is not good when someone receives it. You must continually invest in the product. One day at a time. Take inventory of what you have available to you and use that to your greatest benefit. Take the next most fun step in the direction of your goal. Fun is the goal. Love is the way. My name is Ezra Firestone. I hope you got some value out of this. I hope you can copy some of this and implement it on your product offer page and get higher conversion rates, have an higher average order value. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook at Ezra Firestone. I'm at Zipify Apps is my software company for Shopify, and my blog is smartmarketer.com. Thanks so much for watching. Catch up with you later.